Hello, everybody. Today we're going to dive into the exciting world of decimals. Specifically, we are going to learn how to compare and order decimals to the thousandths place. Let's start by understanding what decimals are again. Decimals are a way to show parts of a whole, such as 1/10, 25 hundredths, or 789 thousandths. When we compare decimals, we are going to look at the place value of each digit. We are going to compare 375 thousandths to 42 hundredths. You'll notice I also placed a 0 at the end of my number 42 hundredths so that my place values aligned with 375 thousandths. As we know, 42 hundredths will be equivalent to 420 thousandths. When we compare these two decimals, we look at the place value of each digit. The first step is to compare the digits in the tenths place. When you have larger numbers, we will always start with our largest place value to the left. In this case, both of our numbers have 0 ones, so we are going to start with the tenths place. When we compare the digits in the tenths place, if the digits are the same, we move on to the hundredths place, and then to the thousandths place, if needed. Looking at our two numbers, we already can tell that our ones places are the same. Next, we are going to look at our tenths place. Our tenths places are different. 4/10 is greater than 3/10, so we know that 420 thousandths is going to be greater than 375 thousandths. Now that we know that 42 hundredths is greater than 375 thousandths, we are now going to use symbols like greater than, less than, and equal to compare these two numbers. Now that we know that 42 hundredths is our greater number, we now have to use a symbol to show this. When we look at our symbols, greater than, less than, and equal to, I always say that you don't really have to memorize what these symbols are. When we look at a greater than sign, this side, the left side of this symbol, has 2 dots here. It is larger. This other side, the right side, has 1, so that would be the smaller side. When we look, if we pull this up to our inequality here, we can tell that 375 thousandths is not supposed to be on the greater side of this inequality symbol. So we know that this is incorrect. Looking at this other symbol and reading left to right, this side here on the left would be less than the amount on the right. So we are going to use this less than symbol to complete our inequality. We now read this inequality as 0 and 375 thousandths is less than 0 and 42 hundredths. Let's do another one together. We are going to try this example. We are going to order the following decimals from least to greatest. We have 603 thousandths, 32 hundredths, and 475 thousandths. First, we are going to line up the decimals vertically. Now that we have our decimals vertically aligned and all of our place values aligned with it, now we can start ordering. We are going to start comparing from the left. We always start with our largest place value. Our largest place value is our ones place. They are all 0. They are all the same. They are all equivalent, so we cannot use that place value to help us compare these decimals. We need to look to our next place value in the tenths place. When we look at our tenths place, we have 3/10, 4/10, and 6/10. We know that 3/10 is less than 4/10 and it's less than 6/10. So when we order these numbers, we know that 32/100 will now be our smallest number. I'm going to place 0 and 32/100 on the left side of my number line because it is the smallest value that I have here. Next, I know that 475 thousandths is going to be my next largest number because it has 4/10 present. I'm going to squeeze that down here on my number line. A little to the right, further right than 32/100 because it is a larger number. And finally, I know that 603 thousandths must be my largest number because it has 6/10 and 6/10 will always be greater than 3/10 and 4/10. So 6/10 I am going to put further on the right, my entire number being 603 thousandths. We have now successfully compared and ordered these decimals from least to greatest up to the thousandths place. Remember, when comparing and ordering decimals, always pay attention to the place value of each digit. Start with the largest place value, and then use the correct symbols to show the comparison and an inequality, or place them appropriately on a number line.
Thank you for joining me to review today's 5th grade math skill.